For this page, I'm going to do a quick overview of kind of what to do on this page, and then I'm going to dive a lot deeper into the question of budget. So there's two things on here. There's what we refer to as the flight, or when will the campaign start running and when will it stop running. And then the other thing on here is how much money you're going to spend per day. And then this will automatically nicely update you on what your monthly spend is going to be, or what your total spend if it's less than a month campaign, and that what your cost per thousand is going to be, which is just the cost to reach, have your ad be seen 1,000 times. In this case, it's showing $9 to have your ad be seen 1,000 times. And then with this budget and everything, how many impressions you're going to receive, and the estimated number of clicks for display ads. We don't provide that for video ads because a lot of video inventory, especially OTT, isn't necessarily clickable. You think about if you see a commercial on your TV, you can't go up and actually touch your TV, right? So I'm going to go back up here and showcase. If you leave these blank, then the first one is going to start ASAP. So that's the way to get it started as soon as today and everything. And then also on here you have until it stops. So here it'll start as quickly as it possibly can, and it will stop whenever you tell it to stop and everything. The other thing that you can do for a campaign is you can actually say, well, I don't want it to start today. I want it to actually start on August 1st. And then you can go ahead and select that. The other thing that you can do is the same thing, is you can say, but I only want to run it for 15 days, let's say, and select that. So down below it adjusts to what you have. So if you can adjust your daily spend to whatever you want. We'll get to that in a second, but it'll tell you, hey, your total campaign is going to cost you $105. And we're estimating to have have 11,666 impressions. It's going to get about like 9 to 18 clicks roughly, based off of kind of general data. Now, what if I want that to actually be like, well, no, I actually want to run it for a whole year? You could just simply go and select the end date that you want and hit save. And the one thing I do want to point out is when you do longer than a 1 month cycle, instead of giving you the total of the campaign, the system will tell you the monthly max that you're going to spend instead, and the numbers are associated to the max. So you're not getting just 24,111 impressions for the whole annual campaign. You're getting that per month, and that information is updated down here. So that's kind of an overview of the start date and end date. Down here, you're able to move, and I'm just going to, for simplicity reasons, I'm going to switch this back to just a 1 month flight. There we go. And down here, what we're going to do is you're going to be able to adjust this to whatever you want. You can have this be $150. You can have it be $1. You can have it be $1,000, whatever you might be. And you'll notice down below, it'll adjust to what the numbers as it associates with that daily spend. I'm just going to drop this to $25. So very simple, very easy to understand, hopefully. But what I wanted to spend a little bit extra time is, well, what should your budget be? And your budget for geofence advertising should always be based off of thinking about, well, how many people do we think are actually going to be entering our geofences? And you think about it this way. If you are a restaurant that's trying to get people who are at your one competitor's restaurant over to you, well, that's going to be a certain amount of foot traffic that's going to your competitor's restaurant versus if you're trying to geofence a professional sporting arena that can hold 50 to 100,000 individuals. One's going to get a few thousand individuals per month. One is going to get, possibly tens of thousands of individuals per month. So kind of thinking about, well, how many individuals are actually going to enter the fences, and then saying, well, how many times do I need to serve ads to them? Is, in this case, if I have a $25 a day budget, 86,111 times that we serve ads to them, enough for them to get a reaction. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into the advertising side of things just to kind of help you out. You don't want to just reach one person one time with an ad. An effective campaign really reaches as many of that target audience as you possibly can, but reaching them, each of those individuals, multiple times. It's referred to as reach and frequency. So you actually want to think about, okay, well, how many times should I try to reach these individuals? The other thing, the other tip to keep in mind when thinking about budget is, if you want to reach individuals, but on average, a person has 2.5 devices, and because geofencing usually picks up somebody's smartphone, but it uses cross-device matching, you might be serving ads on a tablet, a computer, a smartphone, or a television, which means that you have to kind of think about that as well too. Is for every one person, it's really like 2.5 devices that you're trying to reach. So just kind of coming up with your own numbers. And my suggestion is do what you're comfortable with and what you think is logical, but then go in and adjust it. You can adjust this at any time and the system will update for you. So play around with it, do what you're comfortable with, adjust it. The beauty of it is if you spend $1 a day, at least you know that your message is getting in front of somebody that has been at a location, indicating that they're very desirable to you. And on the flip side, if you spend $1,000 per day and go really heavy on it, you're just reaching those individuals more time and more frequently. So play with it around, use a little bit of logic in there, think about the audience that's in there, keep in the back of your mind the amount of devices that somebody has, and that you want to reach those devices and those individuals multiple times throughout a campaign. The last tip that I'm going to give you on this is a combination of both the start and end date and the budgeting. If you have a short campaign, like only a month, then you probably want to spend a little bit more to ensure that it's going to get the results that you want to get a good reach and frequency again. But you might not need to spend as much on a daily basis if you're like, well, I just want to have this up consistently year round. So then you're going to reach these individuals that are going to these fences on a more of a long-term basis, so your reach and frequency will build up over time. So it's a nice little tool to think of or a little tactic to think of. Short campaign, probably need to spend a little bit more money to reach enough of the people enough times to get them to make a decision. If you have a longer campaign, then you can probably drop that daily budget a little bit, because you're going to have a lot longer time in order to reach those individuals if they keep on re-entering those geofences. Geofencing, we can target people with ads for 30 days after they enter the fence. So if they enter the fence repeatedly, then we'll keep on retargeting them for 30 days. But if they only enter it once, then we're only targeting them with ads for 30 days, and then they kind of drop out of our pool, and we go after the fresher individuals in those locations.